Howdy everybody, we're back with some more RPG horror stories. Let's jump right into it. Our first story for today is going to be by regular Molasses 9293 and is titled My DM Paused Our Campaign Because I Stepped Away for Iftar During Ramadan. Should I Just Leave the Group? I'm Muslim and right now is the holy month of Ramadan. To put it simply, we fast from sunrise to sunset and we break the fast at sunset with a meal called Iftar. The problem is that both of the D&D campaigns I play in take place around that exact same time. That means I either have to join a few minutes late or step away for 20 to 30 minutes to go eat with my family. To avoid confusion, I'll call the campaigns Group A and Group B. I'm also the only Muslim in both groups. Group A is the campaign where I sometimes show up a few minutes late because we start either right around Iftar or sometimes even 30 minutes before it. The players in that group are people I've known for years, and they're completely fine with me stepping away briefly if I need to break my fast. This would be my expectation, to be honest. That's the expectation I would have if I was running this campaign. Work around the person who's doing stuff for religious holidays, because it's not an every session thing, and it's not going to make or break your game. Yeah, it sucks. You have to somebody misses out on the first 30 minutes, or you have to maybe start 30 minutes late, but if I'm being honest, most of my games to begin with anyway, people sit down and they're kind of just shooting the shit for the first 30 minutes. You kind of have to buckle everybody down to get them moving initially anyway. So if somebody's going to be 30 minutes late for a religious thing, I'd have no issue with it, especially if they're a good player. Group B is different. It's an online group I have joined recently, so I haven't known them nearly long enough. In that campaign, I usually have to step away about 2 hours into the session to go break my fast. Before it ever became an issue, I asked everybody if it would be okay. The players were totally fine with it. The DM, however, apparently wasn't. He posted an announcement saying, "I think it's best if this campaign is placed on hold. If you have an outside matter or other commitment that cuts into the campaign, then I cannot have you partake within the module." I am the only person in the group who has had to step away for something like this, so it feels like this might be directed at me, but he didn't explicitly say that. To be honest, I feel like this is directed at OP. I don't know why the DM wouldn't just ask OP to step away temporarily, if it's that much of an issue from the campaign itself, and then just have them come back when they're all done with Ramadan. If it's that big of a, issue to have somebody step away for 30 minutes to an hour, just have them step away mid-session, be like, "Hey guys, I gotta step out real quick, I gotta go eat dinner with my family," or something. Go do that, they'll come back. It's only for a month. It's not a permanent thing, it's just a month, and if it is so bad, then just remove OP, I guess. Just be like, "Hey, I'm sorry, I need people who are here all the time. That's the rules. You made a commit when you came here, whatever." But this quote-unquote sly, I'm not going to name somebody, but we are kind of naming somebody's being a problem kind of thing. It's very passive-aggressive. I don't like it. If you have an issue, just talk about it. Just be adults and talk about it. You don't have to be aggressive. You don't have to be, demeaning or point them and say you were a mess up. Just be like, "Hey, here's what's going on." I'm the only person in the group who has had to step away for something like this, so it feels like this might be directed at me, though he didn't explicitly say that. For context, the sessions usually last around 4 to 4.5 hours, so the most I'm gone is about 20 to 30 minutes once per session. If I was missing half the session, I'd understand the concern, but this is a pretty small chunk of time and the group keeps playing while I'm gone anyway, which I insist on them doing regardless. Since the campaign has now been put on hold over this, I'm not really sure what the best move is. Ramadan obviously won't last forever, but if something like this is already a big issue, I'm starting to think it might just be better for me to step away from the campaign entirely. TLDR, I have to break my fast during Ramadan and usually have to leave for a little because of it. The players were fine with it and the group keeps playing while I'm gone, but the DM paused the campaign saying he can't have, quote, outside commitments interrupt his module. Should I just leave the campaign? And apparently OP has left the group. I appreciate everyone who commented for their advice. So I already got the resolution out of this. That being said, though, I do think it is a bit ridiculous, especially if it's only 20 to 30 minutes a session for, a month maybe? And then even if, it was half the session or something like that, it was the last half or something, I would personally be okay with that. Ramadan runs for a month, so that's what? If this group plays weekly, it's 4 sessions. 4 times, that's nothing. That's nothing at all. I think the DM for Group B is being a bit dramatic here. So I would personally probably just leave if they're going to have such a big snafu over one person having to step out temporarily for a little bit, partway into the session because of a religious thing. I'd probably leave. That's It's freaking out over a lot. It'd be one thing if OP was like, guys, when I'm gone, you have to stop playing. Like, I want to be here for everything. Like, that's one thing. You know, maybe then OP steps away. If you can't miss it and you're going to like rain on everybody else's parade because of your religious holiday, then I don't know if this is going to work. But if OP's just like, hey, keep playing, I'll take a back seat for right now. You know, I don't want to ruin everybody else's fun. I just got to step out for a little bit to eat because I've been fasting all day. I feel like it's not a problem, especially if it's only for a month a year. Like, that's it. Our last story today is going to be from the user FamiliarSand6894 and is titled, One Player is Kind of Ruining My First D&D Campaign. I, 27, recently started playing D&D with a group of new friends. DM, my girlfriend, problem player, and problem player's boyfriend. One of them had been really excited about running a campaign in his homebrew world and convinced the rest of us to try it. I assume one of them being the DM. God, I hope it's the DM. Honestly, the experience has been great so far, or at least it would be if it wasn't for one other player, 36, who's making things hard. 1, she pushed hard for the campaign to be about evil villains serving a demon lord because she didn't want to, quote, play heroes who save people. The DM is pretty laid back, so the campaign basically went that direction. 2, her character's whole thing is that she has no backstory, wouldn't bother thinking about one, but she will eventually become the demon queen, give birth to the Antichrist and end the world, which, okay, we're demon cultists, sure, but it kind of makes everyone else's backstory feel pointless, because apparently no matter what our characters want to do, she seems destined to end the world anyway. Okay, so did the DM like not think this through? Like, hopefully the give birth to the Antichrist angle here is like a post-credits thing, like it's a long-term goal for the character, sure, but that's something that happens maybe at the post-credits, like in order to give birth to the Antichrist, you need to find, I don't know, the one who's going to knock you up or the one who you're going to knock up, I don't know. However it works. It's demon stuff or whatever. But like, to me, that sounds like a post-credits thing, being like, you know, you meet the one, then sounds like a weird romance arc for our characters. They got to go find the one who they're going to marry so that way they can, or have a one-night stand with so they can go get pregnant and give birth to the Antichrist. But to me, that sounds like a post-credits like thing for the campaign, so that to me that should not stop somebody from being able to have like a full character arc for their person. Who says they're actually going to get that fully too? That character could die session 5, so she doesn't have much of a backstory here. She has like a pre-planned future, I guess. For having some sort of backstory would probably be good though, like, you know, I'm a faithful servant of Tiamat or whatever, I don't know, whatever the hell their world is. But maybe this DM doesn't care so much about backstories. Maybe they're more concerned about you having the building blocks of a character. Like, I've got a paladin. My paladin is an elf. They're, you know, their background is a merchant or whatever. Like, maybe the DM cares more about that than you actually having a full-on, a like baked backstory that works in the world. Like, that's a way to run campaigns. It's not a bad thing. It's not as much fun, I think, personally, because it having a backstory, at least a little bit, into the world and having some semblance of a backstory kind of helps anchor your entire character, and it gives little places for your DM to kind of put like little nuggets of information, or it offers the player the ability to maybe think about or offer up information for something, you know, like for example, oh, my character is a noble who grew up in Rexingtrum. Because of that, maybe they know some names from people in high society in Rexingtrum, so they could maybe roll a history check to maybe recall some information about nobles in Rexingtrum if that comes up in the campaign. Like, having that backstory bit helps push the character a little bit, and then you as the DM also can then have, you know, some drama. Let's say this person's family was a noble family in Rexingtrum. They got, you know, thrown out of high society because the father was found to be worshiping, you know, betrayer gods or something. So like, they run into some nobles who are like, oh, you look familiar, your father's, you know, trash or whatever. And that could be like a bit, that's like a little nugget. That's some conflict that can be created because their backstory is cemented in the world. But again, it's all how the DM wants to run the campaign. So them not having a backstory isn't the worst thing in the world. I think it's better if they do though. 3, she has lied on her character sheet and changed things whenever it suits her to make her character stronger. 4, as part of our pact with the Demon Lord, everybody got either a small buff or cool magic item. Hers is a grimoire full of ridiculously overpowered spells, which really adds to the main character vibe. These spells technically can fail, but they never seem to because she changes her dice results when the DM isn't looking. That's cheating. She's also gotten a ton of enchanted items, it's number 5, mostly because she insists, quote, on going off on her own or being the first to search every room. Okay, so it sounds to me like this DM has not balanced anything. If this person is changing their character sheet, the DM really needs to put a stop to this. I, as a DM, would be really aggravated if I had a player who was constantly shifting their stats around or their items. And I'm not talking you naturally gain items and you naturally like gain stats as you level up. I'm talking like today they decided that they like really liked being dexterous because they were tired of getting hit. But now like dex is their highest stat. But then now that we're in an RP session, the next session, like a very RP one, they decide, well, I don't need to be dexterous. I actually want to be really charismatic. And now I'm going to shift my character sheet, you know, or they're changing like languages around or something like that. Now I can understand a player coming to you like deep in and being like, hey, I had originally planned for this character to have, you know, this stat or something like that be their main, and I'm just not enjoying the character. Can I make a one-time change? That's one thing. You know, hey, I came in, I really thought like Draconic would be a super important language. It's why I took it. Nobody speaks Draconic. Can I shift it to something that's a little more potentially useful here? Like a one-time little tweak or something like that, I'm fine with. But if it's session to session kind of like that's ridiculous, I'd set this player down and be like, okay, you're gonna give me one. I like having an actual PDF character sheet. Like you're gonna have a character sheet. This is your character sheet. This is what it is. If you stray from this, if you keep changing this, you will be out. Because I don't have time for people who are going to be changing like the winds just because they don't like the fact that their character's not the main character for some fucking reason for something. I feel like the DM didn't really balance their stuff really well then if they added on all these ridiculous spells here. And there's a chance that they kind of snuck that in. Maybe this person doesn't DM very often or this person is very aggressive and is like, I want this is the magic item I'm gonna have, gimme, like, and kind of browbeat the DM into agreeing to it, or just weren't as forthright about all the potential things that it could like be powerful and be used for, or like we're like, oh yeah, don't worry, it's totally okay to have this because this character can potentially fail the arcana checks to roll, or the spell ability checks or whatever to like, I don't know, cast the higher of spells, like it's a spell scroll or something, which I assume is what it is here, you know. And the GM was just like, yeah, sure, I'm sure that'll happen, and it's just not questioning it or something. But they're clearly not balancing this very well. Now, the character getting a bunch of enchanted items like magic items and stuff like that, that to me is like a character stealing from the other players, other characters. I have a big issue with that. I don't like when that happens at a table. I don't care if it's evil campaign or not. For the sake of everybody kind of maintaining the same level and everybody kind of getting, you know, to feel powerful and get stuff, like I like to make sure that the magic items get doled out relatively equally if I'm going to be handing them out to people. If I have one of those characters, and I have had them before, that one person that wants to sneak off into the room ahead of everybody and start, you know, going through all the treasure chests and whatnot, we're gonna have a major issue with that. Either I'm gonna sit that player down and we're gonna be above table and be like, listen, if you want to go in first, that's fine, but you have to share. There's no hiding, there's no lying about what gold you're getting. There's no like, oh guys, sorry, there's no gold in the room, I don't know what happened, and then like your money bag is jingling extra for some reason, you know, or you're like, oh guys, I don't know what happened, all these magic items, I got to them first, so I guess they're mine. Like, we're not going to do that. I have told my players, again, above table, just been like, this is what's going to happen. When you guys get stuff, the expectation is that you're going to very evenly distribute this. Like, I'm not dealing with one player who is more dexterous than the other, sleight of hand stealing money or trying to steal more money or something like that from everybody. Like, I'm not dealing with that. You're going to split stuff. If you want to change it up a little bit, like somebody takes less money to get an item, that's fine. But you guys have to be fair with each other. And they have. They've done a really good job the entire campaign with, you know, hey, we got 1,000 gold. How does 1,000 split between, you know, 5, 6, 7, 8 characters, whatever? To be honest, I'm kind of surprised that there's not other people maybe complaining. Maybe this will get mentioned later on in the story here. But like, if everybody's not being treated fairly, that will often lead to people wanting to leave, because it's like, well, what's the point? Where like, I came here to have fun and kind of have a bit of a power fantasy, and we're watching as Galinda here is just the demon goddess of all time and just slays everything and, you know, gets all the magic items, and I'm stuck here with lint in my pockets and depression. Like, I don't, why the fuck would I play that? 6, she's supposed to be the tank, but instead of, she hangs back and lets the rest of the party take the hits while she flanks enemies and only attacks targets that are already hurt or isolated. Sounds like they have flanking rules here. 7, in character, she constantly withholds information and acts mysterious or openly hostile towards the rest of the party, like we're somehow beneath her. Okay, so OP has spells, but they're also a tank, so I'm kind of curious, is her character a paladin, or is her character like a Spellblade Warlock? I think that's it. Not Warlock, Spellblade Wizard? Spellsinger? I can't remember what it is off the top of my head here. The withholding, acting mysterious, open hostility thing, that could be like an RP thing. But that if you're going to do that, it's got to be done really, really carefully, because let me tell you, if you're supposed to be acting as a cooperative party and that one person is being a fucking, like, just dead weight and refusing to give useful information, refusing to, like, be at least amicable to the rest of the party, like, people are going to be like, I don't want to adventure with this person. They're a dick. Like, and they're a dick to me specifically. Like, that is a real quick way to have people go, like, I don't want to interact with them. I would not interact with this person in the party. Like, either they leave or I leave, like, character-wise. As a trope, though, it gets old really, really fast. So, like, if you're going to do this in your campaigns, if you are dead set as a player being like, I want to have a character that is mysterious and kind of aggressive towards the party, they need to change their shit real quick. One, it doesn't hurt to be above table. Be like, listen, this is kind of the angle I'm going with my RP. I promise this is not going to be a permanent thing. Like, don't be afraid to be above table with stuff like that. Or if you're gonna do that too, it cannot be like a ton of sessions. If you're 20 sessions in and your character is still like, I don't trust them, even though we've gained like 5 levels together and we've gone on 20 different adventures, I still don't trust him. I'm still gonna act mysterious and hostile. Like, no, like after that point, like your party, like the actual character's gonna be like, I don't want to be with Steve. Steve's a dick. He's hostile. Nah, I'm good. Like, Steve, you're fired. You're fired from the party. Like, I wouldn't adventure with that person. Group votes him out. He's gone. Now, a player not tanking, that can be bad if the party dynamic is that they're supposed to be the tank, and like what was agreed upon is like, hey, I will be the tank, guys. Don't worry. I'm gonna be the tank. Don't worry. And especially if like the DM is balancing fights around the idea of there being a tank, like some DMs when they play would be like, okay, I've got this like idea, like Steve, Galinda, whatever is going to tank. I want to get like Galinda a challenge for tanking. So I'm going to put this thing in front of her that is like going to be interesting for her to tank or allows her to shine potentially as a tank. You know, this super big, badass, beefy bad guy who's got really powerful swings, and Galinda then can like, you know, just fucking face check you know, massive bastard sword swings or something, like to let Galinda shine as the tank. So like if it's built around that concept or built around the party dynamic of there being a tank and now this person's not tanking, it's either the DM is just like whatever's in front of me and is not trying to like purposely target the tank, which is fine. It doesn't hurt to punish your players for being out of position kind of thing. Not if you're trying to like do it to kill him and win or whatever. Don't do that. But, you know, or Galinda is like, I'm going to stealth and just hide off to the side and then I'm going to sweep out and flank or something. And like maybe there needs to be a conversation like, hey, Galinda, you were supposed to tank and I noticed you're kind of like hiding in the darkness like a bitch. What's up with that? The frustrating part is that I've always wanted to try D&D, and aside from her, the experience has actually been fun. I just wish I could tell her to chill out and play like a normal person. The problem is that she is my girlfriend's friend. We play at her house, and another player is her boyfriend, and the DM is her best friend. She also has a pretty strong personality in general, so calling her out feels like it could turn into a whole thing. At this point, I'm not sure if I can keep trying to ignore her as the rest of the group does. Honestly, I've even thought about just dropping the campaign. What would you do? Okay, so I'm kind of curious what the other players think. OP mentions here that the rest of the group tries to ignore her. Are they, or are they just okay with her kind of being the lead, just being this wrecking ball of a character doing whatever the hell she wants, taking from the party, not tanking? Like, are they okay with that? Are they okay with this idea of serving this like woman who wants to become the demon queen or whatever? Like, I'm really curious how nobody has complained to the DM about these issues. Maybe they have, and everybody is just like, well, I don't want to bring it up to Galinda's player because Galinda's player is a bitch and will just like yell everybody down, or she'll throw us all out of the house, or it's going to tear the table apart. Like, maybe that's it. Maybe the entire table's being held hostage. What I would do personally, OP, is I would start by speaking to the DM about your issues, being like, hey, I know she's got all this OP stuff. I noticed that she has been like cheating. I know she's changing her character sheet quite a bit. Like, what's going on with this? I've noticed that things aren't fair for the rest of the table, and I think it's kind of ruining the atmosphere. Like, what can you do? But that being said, if the DM's not going to budge, you might need to just move on to another table and just kind of gracefully back up. Just be like, hey guys, this campaign's not for me. I appreciate you letting me be here. You know, I'm out. And that might cause an exodus of people. Some people might be like, well, if he's leaving, I'm out. Or it's not he, but they. I don't know what their gender is. You know, because I can understand you not wanting to be like turning to your partner and being like, listen, it's either them or me. You can just, I would just be talking with them like, hey, I'm not enjoying this. It seems like Galinda is running things. It seems like she's not playing fairly. I just don't think it's fair. I'm not enjoying myself. I'm out. And then just go find another table, because it might just be too that they're all okay with Galinda running things and they kind of just want a back seat and have her, I don't know why, but maybe that's what it is. And if that's what it is, then it just might not be for you, because this campaign story is centered around Galinda for some god-awful reason. But either way, at the end of the day, no D&D is personally better than bad D&D. So if you're not having fun, if it is this bad for you, the DM won't do anything to help correct it. Just get yourself out of there as quietly and gracefully as possible, and just go play something else. Go find it at like a local game store or online or something like that instead. Alrighty guys, that is going to be it for me today. Thank you guys all for hanging out. If you have not yet, like, subscribe. I'd love to hear all your thoughts in those comments down below. Other than that though, I will see you guys all in the next one. Bye everybody.